Hey, my name is Daniel, and it's time for a video that I think is a little bit overdue, but I'm going to be breaking down my track, Something From Your Heart. Now, the song came out in 2021, but I thought it's never too late to walk you through the creative process and the decision making that went behind the song. Now, I've just opened up the Logic project for the file, and we've got all the tracks that we used here for the mixing process. Now, for my own sanity, I've color-coded all the tracks by instrumentation, and I've laid out everything structurally up the top, so we've got the verse, chorus, and so on to make it easy for us. Now, one of my favorite things about recording this song is that I played the whole thing on the piano in free time. Now, that means I didn't have a click track in my head telling me where the beat was, so I could just use the opportunity to ebb and flow at my own discretion. And you can see up the top here how the tempo changes across the whole song, so it ebbs and flows. It's not one strict tempo the whole time. Now, that gives the song a very live, raw feel to it, which I love, and that's exactly what I was going for. I find the best way to come up with new music is to just sit at the piano and write a great vocal line, and that's what I did with this one, and that's how the song starts.
Remember when I held you on the train? Then we walked our way back home out in the rain.
While the lyrics are reminiscing about something pretty happy, like remember when I held you on the train, the piano part kind of has this tension to it, which suggests that the memories that the lyrics are talking about are kind of like short-lived. And as we get into the rest of the song, that's how it plays out as well. Now, as we get into the second half of this first verse, we've got these warm guitar chords that my brother played.
I put you in my jacket to
And we actually recorded that guitar part twice and put one on the left ear and one on the right ear to add a really spacious feel to that line. It sounds really ambient and I love it. Now, as we make our way into the chorus, I've added a string arrangement because I love strings, and we've added some bass as well just to give that extra intensity at the bottom there.
all I wanted was something from your heart, but you never let me in again.
And the strings arrangement is really simple and subtle, but it's really beautiful and pretty. And in the second half of that chorus, that string arrangement kind of picks up in intensity as well.
And all that I can do is just pretend it didn't even end.
And then we're back into the verse. Now, for the second verse, I always like to change it up and add something from the first verse. So obviously the lyrics are different, but we've also added these pad vocals and guitar riffs to kind of fill the gaps in the vocal line.
Remember when you told me it was time? When days ago you said forever you'd be mine.
We came up with those guitar riffs on the spot, and they kind of just hit the mark perfectly because they've got this reverb on them that sounds so soulful and nostalgic. I love it.
You gave me back that jacket and you cried, and that was the day you said goodbye. And oh,
Now, there are a few reasons that I love that build up into the first climax of the song. The first reason is that because I played it in free time, I was able to just slow the tempo right down in this section. So you can see here, the tempo just slows down into that climax, which builds so much tension. It's great. Now, the other thing I love is that little guitar run that plays upwards. And the strings, which play a tremolo, meaning that they're repeating the same note really, really fast, helps to build that tension. And there's the percussion effects that you can hear. So we've got the timpani roll, so someone going, and then the big hit for the climax. So I'll play that. And now playing that climax again, but all together.
and all I wanted was something from your heart, but you never let me in again.
Now, because the main vocal has gone up in pitch and up in intensity, we've added these backing vocals to give it even more depth.
All I wanted was something from your heart,
And the string arrangement is a lot more dense in this chorus.
and you're out of reach.
So in this bridge section, we've added the pad vocals from earlier back in, and there's this great interplay that happens between all the vocal lines.
Could have been better. Is that why you crossed the line and broke?
Now the other thing that I've added here in the bridge are some French horns, which have this beautiful quality to them. And then you've got the woodwinds that enter for the next part of the bridge. So the flute and the piccolo, they play this really cool run up to their notes and it sounds sick. Now with everything, my favorite part about that section is how the vocals get drowned out in reverb, so it almost gives the effect that they're being pulled back, while the violin section and the string section is kind of pushed forward. So playing both at the same time there. Perfect. Now I'm a big fan of songs that start small, grow big, and then come right back down to where they started, and that's exactly what this song does. So we've just experienced the huge, desperate climax of the song, and now we've kind of given up a little bit, so we're back to just the vocals and just the piano.
And all I wanted was something from your heart, but you'll never let me in again. And you're out of reach, it seems to me, as though we're never gonna meet again. And all that I can do is just pretend.
And on that last note from the vocals, we've kind of added more reverb just to make it linger a little longer. The piano part doesn't resolve at all, it kind of just hangs there. And that kind of makes the song feel a little bit unfinished, which is what I was going for.
Just pretend.
And there you have it. That was a little bit of a walkthrough and a breakdown of my track, Something From Your Heart. Hopefully it gave a little bit of insight into the creative process, the story behind the song, and the decisions I made to create it. Now, as you've seen, there's a lot that goes into making a song, so if you want to give that little bit of extra support, you can find a link to my Patreon up here and in the description as well. By supporting me over there, you'll get to download and listen to all of these individual tracks, you'll get great behind the scenes content, and you'll have the knowledge that you're supporting an artist with dreams. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.